This is one of the things I wanted to kind of dive into a little bit here. He goes, before we begin, you must remember that I am of the Amyr. We were telling stories before Kalaptena burned, before there were books to write in, before there was music to play. When the first fire kindled, we Ru were there spinning stories in the circle of its flickering light. So one thing I haven't talked to you guys about yet is when Scarpy tells his story, and he tells, the story of the Creation War the first time, and then the second time around, he gets to the aftermath of the Creation War, and he tells about Celatos talking to Aleph, and there's, Telu and a bunch of other people that are around there, and they describe this group of people, they describe them as the Ruach. And these Ruach are, obviously very, very powerful namers in this world. These are extremely powerful people in this world. And this is kind of 5,000 years ago, and so this group was called the Ruach. When he's telling this story, Aleph goes to Celatos and he makes him an offer to join him and become an angel, but Celatos turns it down because he wants to go after the Chandrian. He wants revenge. And so he turns down his offer to become an angel because Aleph's deal was you won't be able to go seeking revenge. You'll have to just kind of seek out things as they happen and be more of a justice figure from here on out, not being able to go correct past deeds or prevent future deeds. So Celatos turns him down, and this is where the Amyr is created. Celatos creates the Amyr. But there was also a third group of the Ruach that did not join Aleph and become angels, and also did not join Celatos to become the Amyr. These guys didn't want any part of any of that nonsense, and they went their own route. So the reason I bring that up is when they're talking about the Amyr, they were there when the first fire kindled. They were there before there were books to write and before music was to play. I think that the Amyr span out of members of the Ruach that did not join Aleph or Celatos. That they went out into the world, became nomads after everything was destroyed, and just kind of went their own route, and they ended up living this nomadic life, and through the years ended up becoming storytellers, and then through storytellers, and they eventually became people that became actors, and they became a traveling troupe through the years. But I think it spawned from a group of them came out and became a nomadic tribe that eventually spanned into these amazing troopers, these amazing performers. And I think the reason that they might be so above and beyond better than all the other troops in the world is because their lineage traces back to some of the most extremely powerful people in the world.
So, Dan, can I just kind of reel you back a little bit? At the beginning of this chapter, Kvoth he starts telling his story, names Aleph as God, right? Aleph is God?
That's after. That's later on in the chapter.
Real quick,
I wanted but at the beginning of his story.
Well, I wanted to mention, so with what Dan's saying, the nomads that come from the Ruach, I could see also along with the Ru could possibly be Tinkers, because we were saying they go way back. They're also nomadic, and they also seem to be in stories that go way, way back. And then also in terms of the nomadic, also aren't the why do I always draw a blank? The Adam. Yeah. So they're nomadic as well. Although, I always feel like there's this. When it comes to the other parts of the world, it almost feels like they may have a different history, but there's a similarity between those three groups,
Yes.
They're all, so all those guys, I'm sorry, I'm just trying to get clarity. They're all Ruach. In those stories and everything from the beginning, those people are all Ruach, and then you have Aleph and the two separate groups, but they're all Ruach.
I'm saying, yeah, they're all there. You have a group that is this was 5,000 years ago. This from the stories that Scarpy was telling. Like, at least the powerful people in this world were described as Ruach. So this would be people like Celatos, Aleph, Telu, Lyra, Lanre. These would be type of people that were described as Ruach. And after Lanre betrayed him and the Chandrian was created and they sacked cities, Aleph tried to get people to join him to become angels. Celatos turned him down, created the Amyr, and then there was another group of the Ruach that went their own way. So what I'm saying is that some of those Ruach that did not join the angels or the Amyr, I think some of them became nomadic people that founded the Ademaru. And then, like Tim said, some of them, I do think, also founded the Adem, because you have, like with the Adem, when Sheehan or Cheyenne, whatever her name is, the leader of the Adem, the leader of the group of Adem that Kavoth meets, she talks about like the guys that have the two that created the 99 stories, and I can't remember what their names were, but it's unimportant. But anyways, they were, she describes them as all the cities of the world were destroyed, and they were wandering the world as nomadic figures looking for a home, and it took many years before they settled in at the place where Kavoth finds them. It took them a long time, but when they describe it like as all the cities were destroyed and all that kind of stuff, that's very similar to the Creation War. So it dates the Adem very far back. Plus, their swords are thousands of years old. They can't break. They don't rust. They're not normal swords. There's something magical about them, and the lineage of those swords traces so far back that it makes me think that they are also possibly people that spawn from the Ruach that did not join Aleph or Celatos. And then the Tinkers, they also date extremely far back, so they could have been, but I also think that the Tinkers probably are probably Fae creatures as well. So I think maybe some of the Ruach also went to the Fae, and the Tinkers spawned from them. So yeah, I think there's these groups in this world that spawn very far back. They have lineages to extremely powerful people, and they went in different routes, but I think it lends credence to why Kavoth is so powerful, is that it's not just, he's the chosen one. It's that he is a descendant of people that were the most powerful people in the world 5,000 years ago.